It was a lovely evening. Jasper was walking on the beach at sunset to unwind and clear his thoughts. As he felt the soft, wet sand under his feet, the wind on his skin, all he thought about was the end of his relationship of 5 years with Zira. Jasper met Zira at his parents' house. She had accompanied her elder sister to pick up an item from his brother. Their relationship started the moment they locked eyes and said hi. They talked a lot, laughed at each other's jokes, teased about their high school experiences, and would usually take long strolls through the streets holding hands in the evenings. Everything was lovey-dovey. Zira gained admission into a school in Europe and moved away, while Jasper attended a university in his state of residence. Although they had envisioned attending the same university, Zira's parents had to burst their bubbles. They communicated via social media messaging apps, calls, and emails. The first few months away from each other were all good. Slowly, the communication changed and started declining. Then the trouble started. Jasper could not cope with Zira's absence. He is good-looking, well-built, and dresses to kill. Jasper was the perfect guy to many girls. He got a lot of attention from girls, made lots of friends, and could not stay committed to Zira anymore. Jasper lost all the attention on Zira. His feelings and thoughts were overcome quickly by the numerous ladies he had affairs with. All hell let loose when pictures and screenshot messages hit the internet about two ladies who fought each other for his love and affection, but most especially his pockets. Oh yes, he was extravagant. Jasper met Jane in a WhatsApp group chat. They followed each other on Instagram and had spoken in the DM just one time for a business-related issue. Jane was going through a lot of hurts caused by her ex-boyfriend at the time. She was in the WhatsApp group chat to distract herself from her pain. One boring afternoon, Jane wanted to know the faces of the group members and began opening everyone's profile picture. She recognized Jasper. Jane found him very funny and intelligent when they exchanged messages on Instagram. She messaged him, "This you," with a screenshot of his Instagram profile. "I heard you were looking for me to be your LOML." She apologized for being cheesy, although Jasper found it cute, like he was asked out for the first time in his life. They exchanged messages a lot and finally met physically 3 months later. They became best friends and did everything together, from going to school to attending parties and games night with the squad. Their friendship continued after graduation. Jane lived with a roommate in a 2-bedroom duplex. Rose had the room upstairs. Rose was simply described as a goddess in human form. Her skin was like melted caramel, her body shaped like a Coca-Cola bottle, and her smile could take your breath away. Jasper had visited Jane's home a couple of times but never met Rose. One fateful day, he was on his way to her home when the clouds opened. He got drenched but continued to walk in the rain until a lady walked up to him and put her umbrella over both of them. She smiled and introduced herself as Rose. She invited him over to dry his clothes in the dryer and make him a cup of hot chocolate. Jasper had a hot shower and tied the towel around his waist as he waited for his clothes in the dryer. He began to gist with Rose as he sipped his hot chocolate. Jasper cracked lots of jokes and talked about her beauty at every moment. He was curious about never meeting her whenever he visited the apartment, and how her pictures did not do much justice compared to real life. Rose was verklempt by Jasper's admiration and compliments. It had been a long time since a guy made her feel that way. She moved in and kissed Jasper. They had mind-blowing sex that evening. Rose and Jasper made out a lot after that time. She had fallen head over heels in love with him. A month later, Jane walked in on them as they had sex. She felt betrayed. Jane was in love with Jasper but never got herself to tell him. They had slept together once. Jane had hoped that Jasper would end his relationship with Zira to be with her. As his best friend, she was scared to cross that line. She broke down in tears as she relived all the hurt from her past relationship from what she had just witnessed. She and Rose had talked about her love for Jasper. They talked about how much she wished that Jasper would look at her as his best friend and his girlfriend. Rose knew all about Jasper, but how Jane talked about him made her fall in love with him even before meeting him. Rose and Jane's friendship was over. Rose and Jane lived like cat and dog, hauling insults at each other at every slightest opportunity. It degenerated into cheap blackmails to friends, families, even lecturers in their respective departments. It got so bad that Rose decided to blackmail Jane using a blogger on Instagram. The blackmail story got posted online. Jane responded. It got messy. Jasper's name was everywhere online. Too bad Zira saw the post and read it. Rose was her cousin. She called Jasper and calmly threatened to end the relationship. She would be traveling back to the country in a week. She requested that Jasper should be ready to explain everything. Has he lost the love of his life? Could he win her back? Could he make things right? Could she forgive him? Who was he really in love with? Why does she need to see him? Why was she so calm over the phone, he thought. Jasper could not get those questions answered. He proceeded to the bar at the beach for a cold bottle of Heineken. "I'll take it one step at a time," he said to himself as he took a big gulp from his beer mug. While on the plane, Zira reflected on the sweet memories she shared with Jasper. Their times together, the video calls, the romantic text messages, the gifts he sent to her across miles, and now she was faced with a scandal. As she reflected, tears ran down her cheeks. The gentleman by her side noticed her sob and offered his handkerchief to her. He told her all would be fine and that he would listen if she cared to share. She nodded her head in acceptance and mumbled thank you under her breath. A few minutes later, the pilot announced that they would be landing in Lagos in 15 minutes. As she disembarked, she drew in a long breath. It dawned on her that she was back in a country where nothing worked, even the air was polluted. Her brother was waiting to pick her up. In the car, her brother kept yapping about the blogger's post on their cousin, the way her family reacted to it, and the repulsive attitude that Rose had been putting up. Zira never made it known to her family that Jasper was her boyfriend. As she was about to turn up the car radio, her phone rang. It was Jasper calling. "Hello, love, welcome back," he greeted. She responded calmly and assured him that she would call him as soon as she settled in. After dinner, she put a call through to Jasper and fixed a meetup time for the next day. Jasper was seated early for the meetup. While he sat, he could only ponder the outcome of his meetup with Zira. And there she was, elegantly dressed as she walked in his direction. He got up to hug her. She waved him off and sat down. Zira allowed him to explain everything in the best ways that he could. When he got done, Zira expressed how disappointed and heartbroken she was. She excused herself and went home. He was lost. On her way home, she placed a call to Rose to inform her about her return, the blog post. She requested that they would hang out. They met at the mall. While they were seated and had ice creams, Rose explained everything about the situation. Zira's heart was heavy. Zira and Rose attended the same boarding high school. Their families did not see eye to eye. The family feud transferred from the parents to the kids, so Zira and Rose quarreled a lot. It got their classmates guessing if they were family. They would involve their friends in a clique fight and destroy each other's uniforms and books. They would bribe senior students to get each other punished. They enjoyed seeing each other suffer. In their junior class, Zira had a boy asking her out. All her classmates were in support of their dating. Then Rose came along. Rose was a very social person, and several guys had their eyes on her. In no time, she began dating Zira's friend to spite her. These went on till their senior class year. Rose fell very ill, was hospitalized, and needed an immediate blood transfusion to survive. Zira heard about it. Zira was poignant by the thoughts of losing a family member and donated her blood to save Rose's life. Zira stayed by her bedside until Rose recovered. That act of kindness turned a sour cousin relationship into an unbreakable bond. Through them, their families resolved their long-time feud. Rose and Zira promised to always be there for each other no matter the situation. So, Zira traveled back because Rose was in a messy situation and she was required to stand by her cousin. Zira explained to Rose that Jasper was her boyfriend also. She talked about how they met, their relationship, and their last meeting upon her return to the country. Rose was dumbfounded. How did she and Zira end up in this situation again? She felt terrible doing this to Zira again, but Rose was assured that it was solely Jasper's fault and no one else. They both agreed to meet up with Jane. Women should not fight themselves over a guy that is not deserving of their love. That is girl power, Zira said. Meeting and discussing with Jane was one of the simplest things Zira had ever done in her life. In less than an hour, they apologized and made up with each other. Jane had missed her friendship with Rose and had looked for an opportunity to make things up with her. They had to confront Jasper. Jasper had been uneasy at Zira's silence. She was yet to scold him, cuss at him, even show any sign of hurt. He kept trying to reach out to Zira, but she assured him that she was fine and would speak about it soon. One Friday afternoon, Jasper walked into the girls at a karaoke bar. He was shocked to see all three of his supposed girlfriends and best friends sitting and singing together. Jasper walked up to them, pretending to be calm about it as he greeted them. What he witnessed next was beyond words. Over the microphone, to the hearing of the bar's customers, Zira called him out on his atrocities. She explained her relationship with Rose and how he destroyed Rose's friendship with Jane. In the crowd, there were mixed reactions. Some customers had their phones out to record for the blogs, some were making comments, and some were cursing. All Jasper could do was to stand still, fold his arms, and pray for the ground to open up and swallow him up. She kept ranting. Suddenly, Rose passed out. Rose was rushed to the hospital and was confirmed pregnant. While in the hospital waiting room, Jasper knew Rose was pregnant for him. He had been thinking so much about Rose since the fight between her and Jane broke out. Was he in love with Rose? Jasper felt a new experience when he met Rose. She was his perfect match. She made him feel complete. He had not been with any girl since she came into his life. He had been faithful. His love for her tripled with the news of her pregnancy. He was eager to see her. He got an opportunity to talk with her. He opened up to her about his feelings for her. He wanted her and promised to take care of her. Oh wow, he proposed. She said yes. Zira and Jane accepted the news of Jasper's marriage proposal to Rose with so much joy. They all left the hospital happy.